Oh, I got a lot of people tweeting me this weekend that Torii Hunter story, which is an old story, the Golic Wingo story, where he had said in the past that he didn't sign with, he had Boston's no trade clause, and then he said, I think his comment was 100 people or hundreds of people use the N-word, including children with their parents around them.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, okay.
I mean, it's just not, it just didn't happen.
I just don't know what, I've been to, and again, Torii Hunter has a different experience than I do, but I have more experience being in crowds at Major League Baseball games than Torii Hunter probably.
Right.
I've been in them. He's been playing them. I've gone to sporting events in Boston. I think I went to my first Celtics game with my dad in 1982, I think, or 81. I've been to, as a member of the press or as a fan or whatever, we had half season tickets to the Celtics, my dad and I, all through the Bird era. We had Patriots season tickets forever. I don't know, 1,000 games, I'll just say, whatever. And I'm talking about in the 80s at the Garden, like in wrestling shows at the Garden, like in the 80s, like crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like boxing matches, crazy shit. I can tell you, hand to God, I've never heard that word ever in my life at any sporting event, ever, not once. And this is my whole thing with the Adam Jones thing. I mean, not one time. So do I believe that somebody called Torii Hunter the N-word once his career in Boston? Sure, I'll believe that. I mean, that doesn't, I mean, I've never heard it, but I'll go along with that. Do I think his quote was that kids were using it with parents? Kids
are using it with the parents' approval.
I mean, I don't believe that's true.
When would this have been? What year do we know?
I don't know. I'm
just thinking like cell phones would have captured dozens or hundreds of people chanting it, I would imagine.
All the time, he said, from little kids and grown-ups right next to them. And grown-ups right next to them didn't say anything. So, I mean, I mean, maybe there's a remarkable thing where nobody else heard it except Torii Hunter maybe it was before that. And maybe nobody ever mentioned it. Nobody ever got kicked out, and there's no proof of it. But I find it very, very, very hard to believe that little kids.
The little kids thing is a stretch. That's a huge stretch.
With parents next to them and people in the stand. I mean, this is the whole thing with the Adam Jones thing. And people get mad. Or picture you're in the stands at Fenway. Okay, and Torii Hunter is getting ready to hit, or he's in the outfield. In the outfield, it's almost impossible with Adam Jones because it's so loud that Torii Hunter's in the on-deck circle or something. And some kid like Harry's age is sitting with his dad and me. And he calls Torii Hunter the N-word. And the dad says nothing. The mom says nothing. The people in the rows, because I don't know if you guys have ever been that close at Fenway or not.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to yell that for a player to hear that.
Absolutely.
Like you can't just say that word.
And the security is on you fast if you yell shit or asshole.
It's just now there may be racial stuff in Boston that makes him uncomfortable. No question. Does he have no trade to Boston? I totally believe that. But I just don't believe that little kids ever call Torii Hunter. It just doesn't. And people are gonna say, "Oh, you're white. You have white privilege." Maybe that's so, but that white privilege has also afforded me really nice seats at games and lots of opportunities to go to games.
Right.
So I can tell you, I swear to God, doesn't mean it's not been said. God knows, I'm sure it's been said in these places, but I have never heard that word ever once in my life at one of these games ever.
Yeah, the part I mainly dispute is that it would be unremarkable to the people around. Like, if I were at a game, I'd be like, it would be a buzz in that section.
Well, again, like, every year after the Adam Jones thing, that was only for a couple of years, we'd do the Jimmy Fund, and you'd sit outside. Sometimes I'd sit in between the interviews always just to get away from everyone. You could actually sit in the park.
Right.
And it's in the outfield. And I remember sitting there and trying to think about it, and thinking, if I yelled that word to Adam Jones in a full place,
would he be able to hear it?
But my point is, if he's able to hear it, you know how many other people would have heard it? Especially in the social media world? And how we got kicked out. I mean, it's just, so I didn't believe that. And I know it's a time in history where it's unpopular to say that. Do I think somebody called Torii Hunter that word? Definitely possible. Do I think 100 times? I don't. Do I think little kids did it? I don't. I mean, I just don't. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I simply don't believe that ever happened. And I got people tweet at me like, see? I'm like, well, I don't. How do I fight that? Like, okay, it's his word. I mean, maybe he's telling the truth, but I find it implausible.
Even if the most, like the biggest conservative Donald Trump supporter, if their kid was saying that in public, like, what?
It would be noteworthy.
What?
It would be worth a Twitter video.
Well, just picture the people sitting in the row in front of them or behind them, or like Mike said, security. You have to say it very loud.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, whatever. If he's telling the truth, it's awful. I just find it very, very unlikely. So, that I felt was worth mentioning. Anything else, Steve?
No, I don't.
And trust me, I mean, you wouldn't believe if I still worked at EI and said that, the shitstorm that would cause.
Oh yeah, well, I'm already gonna clip it. So
that's funny to think about because it's not even any like we're not even like, oh no, is that going to get us in trouble?
But this kicked off the whole shitstorm. It might. I don't care. It kicked off the whole. Again, he might be telling the truth. I'm just saying. I've been to games. I think everybody who's been to a game finds that very. if you asked 100 people, even people who want this Torii Hunter story to be true, who's ever heard that word of the game? Have you?
Never.
Have you, Steve? I don't even remember what do you call it?
He's out in the audience sometimes.
A match.
No, I didn't say that. A baseball duel, a match. It just doesn't. But people say that's your white privilege. I know, but I'm at the place.
Yeah,
I don't. I don't know what you want me to say.
I certainly maybe I would believe more in Boston he's heard the word, but
I don't doubt it.
Shouted from the back row of Fenway seems just so unlikely that he would have heard it.
Crazy.
And then no one would.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But boy, that just seems unlikely. But yeah, oh my God. I mean, you wouldn't believe the shitstorm the Adam Jones thing caused. A shitstorm like you wouldn't believe. That led to me getting suspended for you shitting all over management. Because my point was that Red Sox fans wouldn't do that.
Right.
And the Red Sox organization were like, fuck you for saying that.
Our fans
How
are racist.
dare you say that?
Well, it haunts them.
Yeah. I mean, that's really was the argument. And I'm just like, I've been to games. I don't know. Like if I was at a game and somebody did that, it would be a big deal. First of all, you'd be, what the fuck are you talking about?
I would think
and they'd
so.
get kicked out, and that would be a story, and somebody would tweet it, and somebody put it on Instagram. Adam Jones, Torii Hunter could have happened in 04, 05, I guess, pre-social media. So, okay, I mean, maybe. But the Adam Jones thing would have been all over social media that night. All over social media that night.
The Red Sox called their fans racist, essentially.
They did.
I went to the next game where he got a standing ovation at the beginning.
Yeah, well,
It
I mean,
was
you know.
very strange.
All those Bostonians covering up for their racism.
Yes, yeah, right.